Alrighty, what's up, guys? It's TrueComboMMA here, and here we got some quick picks and bets right before UFC 324. We've all been waiting for this, man. Oh, feels like ages, and we finally got a UFC card, and man, I'm so happy. So this is a little different from my previous video. Last video was a lot more free form. I also went over the whole card. This video is just really going to touch on the main card, and we're going to discuss my official picks, my confident picks. I'm going to go with these. Well, some are confident, but and there's some bets that I'm going to sprinkle here that you can either include in our parlay. Also, some that I might just bet outright, in the side. But we'll get to that as we go along. So, without further ado, first fight we're going to talk about is John Silva versus Arnold Allen. Who do I have winning? And I have John Silva winning by decision. Now I didn't include it here, but I know that Arnold Allen here is an underdog, and I have heard some people that have been picking him or talking about picking him, but I don't know, man. I'm never doubting Gene Silva again. I really do think I don't think he's gonna finish Arnold Allen. I think this is gonna be a war. However, if it does go to decision, I really only see John Silva doing the most damage. Um and I do see this fight not finishing so early. I do think it's, like I said, it's gonna be a war. And I do think that over 2.5 rounds at minus 55 is minus 155, correction, sorry, is pretty good. Sprinkle that in a parlay, and I don't think you'd be risking much by doing it. But I also have here Gene Silva by decision plus 180. I do think if Gene Silva wins, I don't think he's gonna finish Allen. Like I said, he's pretty durable. If it does go to decision, I see Gene Silva doing the most damage, man. And I just got finished seeing the weigh-ins, and man, these two, just let's just say the most special, emphasis on special, matchup in the UFC. All right. So we got Gene Silva winning by decision, and with the potential betting picks being the over 2.5 and Silva by decision. Not too bad. So next fight, we got Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. All right. I went, honestly, guys, I'm not gonna think too much about it here. Natalia Silva by decision, guys. People have been talking about Rose, how she's a pretty good underdog. There are plenty, or at least a good amount of live dogs in this card. I just personally don't see Rose being one. I kind of do think that she's kind of 1 foot. She has 1 foot out the door in her career. Just I don't know, man. I don't see Natalia Silva has just. I mean, she beat Alexa. I don't know if it was the last win, but she beat Alexa Grasso, which I thought, which was Rose's previous opponent before they canceled it and rebooked it to this fight. I thought Alexa Grasso was gonna wipe the floor. I think that was not really a good matchup, in my opinion, for Rose. I just don't know how I feel about these straw weights moving up to flyweight. Like there's weight classes really for a reason. And I don't know, man. I just didn't want to think about it hard too much, so I just went by Natalia Silva by decision, and she has a great. This is a great little bet right here. You can make minus 190. Sprinkle that in a parlay, and I think this, if it does go to decision, I think Natalia Silva will win. So next fight, the big boys. I know, Dominican Papi. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. This is one of the sort of confident picks. I think WCA. I think he does it, man, and I think he knocks him out. But man, Derek Lewis plus one, like plus 375. I mean, he's also the dog, but plus 375 for a KO prop. I mean, this guy's the biggest KO artist in the UFC. I'm gonna parlay it with another bet, which I'm gonna talk about later on, which, like the other bet that I just mentioned, I think this is definitely possible. Especially, I'm confident more about this pick more than I am the other one, and I'll get to it in a bit. But yeah, no, this I'm even if I know my pick is Waldo, I'm still gonna sprinkle that on the side. Plus the other bet that I talked about. I'm still gonna sprinkle that Derek Lewis by KO plus 375. I'm never gonna pass that up. That's a rare opportunity. So I'm gonna probably bet that. However, I do see Waldo Cortez Acosta. I mean, he's actually a really good striker. He's his power. He's even though his a lot of his fights went to decision. His most recent fight has showcased his power a bit. He's able to do that, but uh, I don't know, man. Derek Lewis. I mean, I saw that Volkov live fight, that fight live, man, and oh man, I just like if I said to myself, if this guy pulls it out the hat and beats Volkov in the last round, which I thought he could, but I'm like, dude, there's no way he's gonna do it, and he did it. Um, but like I said, Waldo is an actual pretty good heavyweight striker with actual good solid technique. So I think Waldo will get it done by KO or TKO. I'm more confident in the pick of in terms of like I think the fight obviously not going to the distance is a better choice to make if you want to parlay this and choose a prop from this fight. Minus 275. I don't think. I mean, we're getting those odds because a lot of Derek Lewis could potentially have a stinker with this guy, and Waldo does tend to go to decision. But sorry if you just sprinkle that in a parlay, I don't think it hurt. Um, okay. Next up, we got Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. I'm taking O'Malley. I think O'Malley gets it done by decision. I really do think eh, he can really control the distance. Like I think this fight is really just about who can really like who's pushing the pace, who's like starting the exchanges, and I think O'Malley. Like I really feel like if Yadong were to win, it's to catch O'Malley, obviously, and it's through a counter. Uh, my mistake. I'm the best PowerPoint maker of all time. I meant to put minus 120 for the Sean O'Malley decision prop. But there you see it. It's minus 120, and I think that's pretty good. And I really don't see Sean. I mean, Song has never been. I don't think he's been knocked out in the UFC, or at least he rarely gets hurt. Um, O'Malley could be the one to do that because we besides those two Marat performances, we know this guy has that power. But I don't know, man. I really do think Song is pretty tough. I do think it's gonna go to decision, and the person that I think is gonna do the most damage, and the person with the most favoritism is Sean O'Malley. So I think picking him outright, or winning, picking him to win by decision and adding that to a parlay wouldn't be too bad. I think it's very doable. But I do think Song really does have that power, man, and he's still pretty young. But no, man, I'm not gonna think about it too hard. I'm going with Sean O'Malley by decision. Next up, the fucking main event, lad. We got Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. All right, who do I think is gonna win this fight? God, it's such a hard fight to pick, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It may seem easy on paper, but don't listen to what everyone's saying. Me with the pick that everyone's picking. Paddy by sub. Look, I do think Justin is very live in this fight. Something like I'm getting very much a UFC 194, not to that extent, but 194 Aldo versus McGregor vibe where everyone's kind of, well, not everyone. Everyone is actually saying that Patty's gonna win, but I don't know, man. I feel like Justin could really pull off the upset, man. I really think because Patty's striking the if it was like anyone else, you know, like I picked Max to win against Justin. Right, obviously before because everyone thought Justin was gonna mop the floor with Max. Because keep in mind, I mean, Justin was doing amazing. He knocked out Dustin Poirier with a head kick. All right, we forget that. We erase that from our memories because we love Dustin, and so do I. But
we got to realize that this guy, every like, I think he's 11-3 as an underdog. Like this guy as an underdog, there's no way that you shouldn't at least put something on this guy. However, he's reckless, so I feel like he's gonna come in. He's gonna, a lot of Patty's quote unquote takedowns have come from people making mistakes. I think Tony, he got a takedown from him because he kicked and he slipped, or that might have been the Chandler fight. I don't know, but Patty is very opportunistic. So I really do see Justin slipping, falling on his head, or uh, doing something to kind of get taken down. Not trying to. He's not trying to get down. He's not trying to get taken down, but he'll make a mistake, and I feel like Patty's gonna capitalize on him messing up, and he's gonna take him down. And from there, man, I think Patty's gonna do his thing. However, if this fight is standing and it's just kind of mainly a striking battle and it goes to decision, Justin, I think Justin all day. Especially with how Patty, he just has his chin up in the air. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go Patty by sub because I feel like Justin's a little reckless and he might. You can't really grappling wise. You cannot slip up against Patty. You give him an inch, he's taking that whole arm, bro. So we got Justin by KO, TKO, or DQ at plus 425. And yes, this is the pick that I'm parlaying with the Derek Lewis KO pick. I'll show you guys a couple of parlays I'm gonna go with right after this. And you'll see the odds. And I also got Patty by sub by in plus 155. I'm not sure if I'd parlay that because this fight is like the lines don't show it, but for me, this fight is kind of a pick 'em because these guys like in the area they're in, they can finish each other using those skills in that area, and it's very possible they can get to using those skills. Like Justin can use his striking skills against Patty, and catch him with an opening because Patty's constantly has his chin up in the air. Like I said earlier, Justin can make a mistake trying to overswing, trying to take this guy's head off, and I genuinely see Patty getting like some, I hate to say it, but a fluky takedown and submitting this guy. I don't hate Patty. I just don't like how people are disrespecting Justin because he doesn't deserve that. This guy is a legend. Okay, guys, these are a couple of potential parlays that I got. Uh, so this first one is a bit. This is like my safe parlay. It's a bit of a long one, but I do think these results will happen. Josh Hokett by finish. It's plus money, but I do think it's possible. Plus 115 is not bad. Krylov versus Bukowskis, the fight to end in a KO. I think Krylov or Bukowskis can really finish each other, and the way I could see it is mainly a knockout. So, because I do think Bukowskis is going to win this fight, but Krylov could catch him. It is light heavyweight, which is a division like heavyweight that if these guys catch each other, they're going to go down. Fight not to go to decision. I used this prop that I mentioned earlier from the Waldo versus Lewis pick, and yeah, I don't think this fight's gonna go to decision. I hope it we don't get shades of Lewis versus Ngannou, but I think Lewis got like just some big punishment or something because ever since then, his fights have been a lot better. So I don't think it's gonna be like that. I hope not. I pray not. So minus 275. I'm gonna sprinkle that in the parlay for this fight not to go to decision. Charles Johnson, I do think he's gonna get the KO, but I think he's a pretty safe money line to bet on. So I'm gonna have him here at minus 180. Sean O'Malley, Malley money line minus 200. This is the one I'm most nervous about, but I'm not a professional, so don't listen to me, guys. However, I do think Sean O'Malley's gonna win his matchup. This is more of a. It'd be nice to end the parlay with Sean O'Malley winning. I mean, after seeing him lose to Marab twice in a row, it'd be nice to just have that good feeling. It'd feel nice. However, if I were to actually give advice, I would perhaps replace O'Malley with that Natalia Silva. I believe her decision prop, which is minus 190, around there, which it's around the same odds, and I think it's more likely for her to do that, but I want to bet on my boy Sean. So there we go. Next parlay. This is a bit of a screw it parlay. However, this is a parlay I did mention earlier with the Derek Lewis plus 375 KO TKO DQ prop. It's the same way with Justin Gaethje. His prop though is plus 425. I mean, with the way I explained it earlier, with the way Patty leaves his chin up in the air, I definitely think he's live for that. And I don't think Patty is that great of a striker. I don't think he's that defensively sound of a striker to, you know, warrant worry that this is not gonna happen. So I think these two are live, and just betting these two, I think if you put in $10, you win like 150 or something like that with plus 2,394 odds with two, in my opinion, pretty live props. Hey, who doesn't like potentially, not guaranteed, free money? Okay, all right, guys. Happy UFC day. Happy betting. Good luck, boys. Can't wait to talk about it after. Peace.